You know what idea is booming right now? Backyard restaurant neighborhood pop-up. 3 different types of pop-ups going on. Pizza oven pop-ups, where people will buy this $500 to $1,200 authentic Neapolitan style pizza oven. They'll post to their local Instagram, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, neighborhood, HOA groups, nextdoor.com, and they'll get people to place ahead of time their authentic pizza orders for $10 to $25 per pizza. And then the owner of the home or property will make all the pizza in a day. People will come pick it up, Venmo him in advance, and he'll make $1,000 for an afternoon of making pizza. The same is true with barbecue. Order your brisket ahead of time, your pork butt, or stuff that you want to cook on a Blackstone. So with a $500 investment, really all 3 of these things, not the grill, that was a little more expensive, but all 3 of these cost between $500 and $1,500. So with a relatively small investment and the willingness to post online and to be willing to sell things to your friends and family, you can make a really good income cooking food, which is great for foodies like me that love cooking this stuff anyway. So why not monetize it? And whoever said never monetize your hobbies, they were wrong. Because if your hobby is monetizing things, then you can never go wrong.
We hire what's called an Alaskan sawmill or a portable sawmill. This guy will come in here. These are red oak logs and they're very big. You can make end tables, you can make coffee tables, you can make 2 to 4 inch slabs out of them. You stack them as so, and you let them season for months or years at a time. Then you can sell them by the board foot to woodworkers, to wood enthusiasts. They can turn them on a lathe or they can make furniture out of them. I have a bunch of cedar logs in there, white oak, red oak, live oak. You can actually make a lot of money from this wood if you pay someone about 60 bucks an hour to come here, slice it all up for you, and then you just let it sit. Once it's seasoned, there's no bugs in it, it's dried out, it's done warping, you can sell it for a good bit. And the crazy thing is about all of this, I'm not paying for this wood. When you have land, unwanted or unloved land, you got space to store stuff like this. Remember, 1 acre is 43,000 square feet. All of this takes up about 200 square feet, 0.5% of all that acreage. It's a total win-win situation because these tree trimming companies, they have to pay the dump to take this stuff. They don't have to pay me anything. So they are more than happy to bring it. And I'm very careful to tell them, I don't want your brush, I don't want your small stuff, I don't want your mulch. I just want the big stuff, the valuable stuff. And once again, you can sell this stuff to barbecue smoking enthusiasts or to barbecue restaurants as well if you live in a warmer climate like Texas and you're not able to sell it for more than a few months of the year to people that need to heat their homes. Now I know it's hard to tell, but this is called DG, not Dollar General. I know we're in the middle of nowhere, but decomposed granite, crushed granite. This is a road base and it's literally crushed granite. It's a little more expensive than gravel because it's red, it's got a nice color, it compacts really well, and it also drains, and it also looks good. So it's a good hybrid of those 3 qualities. Now, I spent a few $100s for a whole truckload of this stuff, and I clearly haven't used it yet. That's why it's overgrown with weeds. Once I stick the skid steer in there, those weeds will come right off it, and I'm gonna make a road leading from that entrance to that entrance, from that driveway to that driveway. What I learned in the process of ordering this DG was that if you buy directly from the quarries, you get it at a huge discount. There's this company called Living Earth. They have a bunch of locations across Texas. I think they sell it for like $50 to $70 a yard, a cubic yard. But if you buy directly from the quarry in Oklahoma, it's about $20 a yard. So what you can do is you can use Replit or Lindy to make a lead form ad. You can push paid ads to it and just play middleman. Basically, you're drop shipping decomposed granite, or you can buy it, store it on your unwanted, unloved property, and then just resell it. People can come pick it up. This is a business that people don't think of, but this is a product that people are using on a daily basis. Now, as much as my wife loves watching me split firewood by hand, I get tired. A man gets tired, right? So I paid 1,500 bucks for this bad boy. It's a 27-ton hydraulic splitter. About 6 months ago, I posted a video all about my firewood business, and you can see me using this. It's so fun to use. You put the log here, you pull the lever, and it just splits it cleanly in half. This is a great investment. If you can't find enough customers as a firewood business, you can rent this thing out for about $80 to $90 a day on Facebook Marketplace, because people cut down trees, they want to convert it into firewood, but they have no need to buy a $1,500 splitter, so they'll rent it for you for 80 to 160 bucks and do it themselves. Also, when you have land, you got plenty of space to store stuff like this. What you're looking at right here are the remnants of an old septic system. Now, you would not believe the unit economics of the septic tank business. How many people out there in high school said, I want to grow up and own a septic tank business? Literally no one's ever said that. They're incredibly profitable. It's dirty, it's unsexy, nobody wants to get into it, but the net profit margins are 20 to 40%. because no one wants to get into it. You know how many people wanted to come out of here and fix this septic system? Absolutely none. All I wanted to do was add a simple bathroom to my shop, and I knew that this could be fixed because it was working when the mobile home was here, and they all said, nope, you need a new system, $15,000, $15,000. Why are they telling me that? Because they can, because they're in the driver's seat, because there's much more demand than supply. So the takeaway here, start or buy a septic tank repair or installation business. This is a live oak tree, a beautiful live oak tree, and it's probably about 14 inches in diameter. If I were to go to a tree farm, this is about as big as they'll sell them, and this is gonna cost a couple $1,000s. But all over Texas and the United States and the world, there are properties that need to be mulched, that need to be raised because they're building things or they're clearing land. There is a big business between playing middleman between the forestry mulchers, the land clearers, the tree trimming companies, and the people that own what's called a tree spade. If you look at this footage right here, a tree spade is either an attachment to a skid steer or it's a standalone machine that has these 4 hydraulic spades, these blades, sticks into the ground, pulls out the tree, put it in a pot, put it on a truck, transport it, sell it. So instead of the homeowner that needs this cleared paying someone thousands of dollars to shamefully just cut it down, they can instead get it removed for free. They don't have to pay anyone. And that middleman can find the homeowner or the landowner. It can find the person that wants a mature tree. Maybe they don't want to pay $2,500 for it. Maybe they want to pay $1,000 for it. And you can take the spread between those two parties. You could actually own the spade. They cost about $4,000. Or you could just find a guy that has one. You play middleman. He does all the work. You or him deliver it. And we don't have to cut down as many trees. You just transplant it. All right, fiber optic cable. So this road up here has fiber laid from Frontier, a communications company. That road, which is closer to my house, does not have fiber. I wanted fiber, so I paid some guys $500 to come in here with a ditch witch, dig a trench from here to that property, and lay fiber optic cable. From that road to that road, now I have fiber internet. That is an entire industry, laying fiber optic cable, finding customers that almost never leave. When they sell the house, the new homeowners become your customers. This guy's making 6 figures a year with very little overhead. He does have upfront costs. Of course, it's not cheap to lay the fiber, but once it's laid, it's gonna be there for decades. Then you just go find homeowners that want faster internet. People think that the big companies like AT&T and Spectrum own that market. No, there's so much left for the taking, especially out here in rural areas. So you can use your unwanted, unloved land to store fiber optic cable, to buy and rent out ditch witches, to just run your business out of. If you own the ditch witch and you want to dig trenches for fiber optic cable or for fiber optic cable companies, there's a million ways to make $1 million. All right, look at this freaking thing right here. This is a dirty, yucky, icky pond. Now this business is less something that you can do with unwanted land, more something that you can monetize with someone else's unwanted land. About a year ago, I interviewed these college students right here, linked to the interviews in the show notes. They're up in Chicago and they were at this lake. And they were just doing landscaping stuff for this woman. She lived on a lake. This lake she lived on, which was much bigger than this, had yucky seaweed and weeds growing all around her dock. And she said, listen, my grandkids want to swim in this water, but they can't. It's disgusting. Can you clean this out? Their first gut instinct was to say, no. How do you clean a lake? But then they're like me, and they say yes to everything. And they said, yeah, we'll see what we can do. So they literally drove to Home Depot, bought $20 rakes, the ones that look like this, and they just stood waist deep in the water. I've got some pictures here. And they just started raking the bed of this lake, and it floated to the top, and then they would grab it all up and throw it up on the shore. It took hours, but they made like $500. And then guess what happened? The neighbor came out, and then the other neighbor came, hey, can you do mine? I didn't even know this was possible. I didn't even know this was the thing. And their whole sales pitch was, we don't use chemicals. It's all natural. They started this business. It's like J&D Lake Services. They're making 6 figures a year, and they're college students. Now they're thriving. And this one guy saw what they were doing and said, hey, I have this $200,000 lake cleaning machine. It's like a skid steer that floats. And he said, I'll lease it to you. Don't pay me anything down. He was just a good guy that wanted to help out some young entrepreneurs. It looks like this. And they leased it to him. Now they're making a ton of money, and they're going all in on this business. This is something that almost no one is doing. This is a brand new industry, and I love it because you can fish where the fish are. You can use third-party tools to find all the homes that have ponds or that live on lakes. You don't have to do that manually. There's other third-party websites and databases out there that will give you the information of these people. Then you just reach out to them and say, hey, I bet you no one's ever offered to clean your pond or your lake before. I'll do that. You can charge hundreds of dollars per hour. You don't need any expensive, heavy equipment to start. Is it easy? Of course not. It's sweaty, it's hard. You're gonna get leeches on your legs. I'm not saying this is easy or even fun, but it's entrepreneurship and you pick your battles. You're gonna have problems and hardships and icebergs to get around in every business. And this one is one that is brand new. This industry is brand new. So if someone knocked on my door and said, hey, I'll clean out your pond, I would say yes. I would pay them because I'm not about to get in there. So go clean some lakes and ponds.
Hey, believe it or not, this is actually just a small segment of the full episode. If you want to watch the full episode of this, check out the link in the description.